This is Ken Smith reminding you it happened today, March 20th, but the year was 1852, and Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin is published. She would be forevermore referred to as the little lady who ended slavery. March 20th, 1865, a plan by John Wilkes Booth to abduct President Abraham Lincoln was ruined when he learned that Lincoln changed his plans for the day. 1868, today, Jesse James gang robbed a bank in Russellville, Kentucky, and got away with $14,000. 1915, today, Albert Einstein published his general theory of relativity. 1933, March 20th, today, the first German concentration camp was completed at Dachau. 1965, President Lyndon Johnson ordered 4,000 troops to protect Martin Luther King Jr. in his march on the Selma Montgomery protest. 1984, today the U.S. Senate rejected an amendment to permit spoken prayer in the public schools. 1996, today the United Kingdom announced that humans can catch mad cow disease. It sent fear and terror around the world. 1999, today, Legoland opened in Carlsbad, California, the first Legoland outside of Europe. 2003, today, the U.S. and British forces have invaded Iraq from Kuwait. But this is today, March 20th, 2020. And today, the U.S. government extended the filing of our taxes from April 15th to July 15th. Today, March 20th, 2020, Liberty University, the largest Christian university in America with over 100,000 students, announced that they would go online. According to Bloomberg, the lifeblood of our economy flows through the internet with all of its countless bits of data. With the onslaught of the virus, immediately in Europe, Spain's online gaming grew threefold last week. WhatsApp usage surged sevenfold. Britain's use of daytime internet increased by 60%. In Italy, nighttime usage of the internet increased by quadrupling. Today, American Airlines is grounding 55,000 flights and parking 450 of its planes. According to the LA Times, a Chinese citizen named Ji Li, who lived in Massachusetts, became ill with the virus. She decided to fly to China through Los Angeles taking some fever-reducing medications before boarding the plane, and then lying to flight attendants. Landing in China with the virus. Li is now hospitalized and can face up to 3 years imprisonment or detention, with possible forced labor up to 7 years in prison, according to Chinese law. In Hong Kong, a man, Declan Chan, flew home from Zurich. At the airport, he was found to have coronavirus. Officials then placed electronic device on his arm. The wristband is connected to an app that he had to have installed on his phone as he head home for 2 weeks of compulsory self-quarantine at home. England, people suspected of being infected with the virus could be held for up to 6 weeks under new powers that are being proposed by the government. Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, would be given complete authority to tackle the spread of this deadly bug. Some things we take for granted: washing our hands with soap and water, the number one defense against the virus. The United Nations estimates that 40% of the world's population, or 3 billion people, do not have the means to wash their hands at home. More than 3,400 Italians have died as of today from the virus. Among those are 18 priests who went to bless the dying. On the other hand, in Lebanon, New Hampshire, a man allegedly got on a bus, told the passengers he was infected with the virus. Panic broke out. In fact, once he was arrested, the police found that he did not have the virus. He was arrested and charged with false public alarm. Let's hope this one isn't true. Today, 4 U.S. senators who dumped millions of stocks while Capitol Hill was being briefed on the virus. Richard Burr, Republican from North Carolina, the head of the Senate Intelligence Committee. Dianne Feinstein, Democrat from California, on the same committee. She sold up to $6 million in stock. Kelly Loeffler, a Republican from Georgia. James Inhofe, a Republican from Oklahoma. In the meantime, according to the 2020 World Happiness Report, which came out just today, Finland is once again, for 3 years in a row, the top of the list. Number 1, the happiest nation in the world. And why? You might think it's a function of money, education. And why? Well, even the people in Finland are confused as to why they keep winning this title. Well, it turns out that happiness, at least as defined in this report, is not a function of how well you express your emotions. Rather, It's a measure of general satisfaction with life, and most important, the confidence that one lives in a place where people take care of one another. According to John Helliwell, the editor of that happiness report. It seems once again, Jesus has it right. The importance of thinking about others more than ourselves. Jesus reminds us, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. The second is this: love your neighbor as yourself. No other commandment is greater than these. This is Ken Smith reminding you it happened today, March 20th.